Okay, call to love, called initiation, almost as if like the bell rang for me. Spirit Love Star, my name is Diana, and I'm here in divine service. I have been doing this work my whole life. On an individual basis, I've been helping people, whether I was in a relationship with them or not, boyfriends, girlfriends, my classmate, my roommate, my neighbor, and total strangers, just how to remember the love vibration. I've always been of an empathic nature, okay? So I'm an empath, but I've evolved from an empath as well because I've learned to move when you go through enough in your life, when you discover what it is to suffer, when you remember that you came from something bigger, your worlds collide, and that has been the story of my life. I have evolutionized my spirit to this moment right now, okay? And I'm being called to let people know to remember their spirit. Now, it's so important if you ever wondered what we're made of, what we're comprised of. We're made of power. And it's so important that we don't give our power away outside of us to outside forces. Basically, we are indoctrinated into a systematic way of living, and that's how it works here in this human life. That's how it works here. That's how it is. And you can use your imagination in order to understand this information. Everyone is vibrating at a different level of the vibrational field. Everyone is in their own state of consciousness, right? But we've been slowly moving out of it. This is a culmination. This is not something that is new, boom, all of a sudden, world shutdown. This has been culminating. If you can go back to consumerism, materialism, the 2008 crash is a great way to remember this because you see how the world was at a standstill even with that. And to stay away, because my message is to increase the love vibration, to increase high vibration, right? And what happens amidst increasing high vibration, right? If you have to think about it, not everything could be love and joyous and vibrating at a high rate all the time because everyone's at a different state, right? I've been through depression. I know exactly what that feels like. And everyone has access to the vibrational field of something called fear, which is the opposite of love. Fear is the opposite of love. It has a very constricted, dense feeling to it. It constricts us. Now, I have a very strong memory of where I come from, and it's been like sharpening a pencil my entire life. I came to a place in my life where I know the realm that I exist, and so in order for me to be more assertive in my message, for a long time, have been waiting for this moment, and I have never been so grounded and calm. Yes, I'm a human. Yes, I'm in this dimension as well. This is part of my mission. I've picked up on the wavelengths of fear, and I actually played into it for like maybe an hour, maybe 45 minutes this morning because I was like, okay, we're out of toilet paper. Let's go. And there's toilet paper on the shelves. My inner knowing knew I was going to find some, and I did. I went to the first store. You have to go early. Went to the second store, found some. Done. But I saw the fear because you see the empty shelves. And in your external reality, something like an empty shelf, you're like, what is this? So first and foremost, I want to let you know that even though your mind can't grasp it for my new friends, and even for my old friends, this is a new identity that I'm presenting to the world, something that I'm no longer keeping secret, right? I am in touch with my star system. What does that mean? I just know that I come from something bigger. What does that mean? It's not, I was raised Catholic, and then I ventured out and embraced I almost felt like I had more like a foreseeing, like a future, like, my intuition and my intellectual was always like pointing things together and connecting them, and then I would see them in my external reality, and I was like, how did I know this was going to happen? So yes, I do have some clairvoyance in me, and a lot of us do. I've always been of like a psychic nature, knowing things that were going to happen before, but not just that, just an intuitive knowing of how I should attune to my emotional field whenever I felt something like stress or emotional struggle, heartbreak, right? And we can all relate because we're all humans and we've all had these experiences. Some of us have had heavier experiences than others. Some of us had darker experiences more than others. But on the mission and to keep things, my statement is that I am from a star system known as the Pleiades. Now, it doesn't matter predominantly that is where I'm from, because I know I have another intel coming in from another place galactically, cosmically, but I don't have to understand the title. I don't have to give it a label. I don't have to give it a category. I don't have to say to myself, I'm this, I'm that, because that's what the ego loves to do. The ego, yes, can be our friend, but it over-identifies and then creates illusions, right? And we're in a moment right now, we're dismantling illusions, right? Everyone has a different illusion. Even your reality that you know, your materialistic reality, get up and go to work, have kids, you know, buy a house, and like, you know, keep up with the Joneses, and, you know, buy some stocks and all that stuff. That is the reality that we're part of, right? And it's great. Some of us make great money, but right now we're finding ourselves in a time where we've lost our jobs due to this information that we've been given, right? And it's a catalyst. There's a meaning behind it all. And it's a greater, like, with the grand scheme of things, it is a uprooting of old system, uprooting of unintegrated, like, aspects of your emotional body, traumas that have not come out yet, right? It's almost like we're being forced into a massive meditation and really seeing within the non-material world what we're made of, what your emotions are made of, right? We're all made of an essence. We're all made of this. You can't touch it. You know, it's what keeps the circulatory system running. It's the beautiful light that you're made out of, right? And whether you were taught to really look away from this and ignore it and that you don't have it, and you're just like, you know, you're just, you know that there's something pulling deeper, you know? You don't have to be spiritual for this. I've been on this journey since, at least, I mean, really concentrating on it. I want to say so since 2011, maybe. But I've always been spiritual because I was always able to tap into something non-physical in someone else and understand exactly what they were going through, as if I was in their shoes. Like, I would pick up on a feeling. I'd be like, oh, you feel this. And they can say, no, I'm fine. I'm like, no, but your vibration reads different. Okay, just has a little bit of a background, and to not, because right now there's massive scare and panic, which is all normal because we're human. It's all hyped up and augmented, remember, through the media. And another thing that we have to remember is that we are powerful within. So my message is to let people remember, because we're really pushed through this filter of non-remembrance. Like, we forget that we're light beings. We forget that we're multidimensional beings. What does it mean to be multidimensional? We live in a multidimensional planet. There's different realities existing every single day. And one of the metaphors that I gave is, a picture a skyscraper and just kind of compare it to occupations, like compare it to jobs, different careers that people have. And each floor has a different business. Each floor has a different occupation. And each door of those floors even have different identities, because one is a lawyer, the other person is a sculptor, the other person is, you know, a tax agent, another person is psychiatrist, what have you, right? So each person is existing in their own reality, dealing with different aspects of life, of this life, different life experiences, all on one floor, right? So picture those floors as Earth, and then picture those floors as Earth, but then picture every single floor, picture the entire skyscraper that has all these floors as many Earths, different planets. It's bigger than what you've been taught. It's just bigger than what you've been taught. You've been having a calling about what you've been taught for quite some time, even though we are pushed in this human experience, we're pushed through this amnesia. It's a very, very forgetful reality that is just on the playing field of this third dimension. And if I can just get my words out, because I have intel coming in at a constant basis, right? Especially now, I've been really, really activated. And I don't want to be closed anymore. I want to be open, and I want to make sure that even if it falls upon deaf ears, I know some ears are listening and a bit more privy to the spiritual path, even if you're not spiritual. I've always been very sensitive, hypersensitive, looking to the beyond. What's more, there's more, there's more. And I think when you do that, you send out a frequency to be told more. Ask and it shall be given. So I've been asking for quite some time, and that's why I'm here. And excuse me if I look away. I look away because I need to compute what comes in and learn and decipher and then translate it into an English language. I've always felt like I was a little bit from like another world and felt like I was an outsider. And in order to connect, I played into what's approved of me, what's not approved of me. And I told my real true self, hold on, I have to do this in order to get love and acceptance. And I have to do this in order to fit in. And we all like approval, right? Because, I mean, that's how we function. We're a social species. And if we don't get approval and if we don't get acceptance, we're depressed like crazy. So a lot of us have this like dormant secret. And I want to let you know that you are a light worker. It doesn't matter how much darkness you've had in your life. You are a light worker because of the very, very reason and the very realization that you knew that there was a different thing going on inside of you. Something bigger than what you did every day, right? Than what was expected of you, than what was being a mom, than what was going to get up and going to work every day with the people that you interact with, right? You didn't want to play into any fear that they had or any reactions towards you. You didn't want them to judge you. But if you had this other polling, then you are a light worker and you have never been needed more on this planet because we're going through a system flush. Interdimensionally, I've been going through dimensions for quite some time. On another video, I'll probably explain spiritual levels and thinking so that it can be grasped. But a lot of this is complex and needs to be repeated. And it's very, very simple. It's actually very simple. The metaphysical components don't need to be understood right now. There are government agencies right now that are in conflict, and they're on one side and another side, and they're trying to, there is no right and wrong, but they're fighting amongst themselves, trying to come to staying in power. And then something like this, chaos, from one perspective, is thrown to distract the masses, and it bleeds onto the masses, and we feel it, okay? Right now, they're trying to stay in power. We're getting at, the good thing is that, and the message that I'm here to deliver is that the good thing is that we're getting out of the dark ages of emotion. So we're called into integration. It's been coming to a culminating point, and it's finally here, but we're not in danger. Don't worry. You've gotten a cold before. You've gotten a flu before. Just boost your immune system and understand that we can heal ourselves. As a person, my own anecdotal story, which I think will help, is from a young age, I always suffered from allergies, and I was always reliant on a pill. And my mother worked for a pharmaceutical company, so I was always getting these pharmacy pills for free. I didn't have to pay for it. She worked for the company. And one time I went to Florida and I forgot them. I had a 2-week stay in Florida and I could not breathe the whole time, right? But it forced me, because not the whole time, the first 10 days. And then on the 12th day that I was there, I all of a sudden I was able to breathe. And I didn't need them. And I slept through the night fine. I was like, that's interesting. I didn't take my medication. I didn't even, at the time, there was no over-the-counter Claritin or anything like that. So you couldn't even, so I didn't even buy like over-the-counter stuff. I just let my body go through kind of like the suffering of not being able to breathe until it actually like unclogged my drain, rewired my mechanism, my components inside on a molecular level, on a cellular level, and I was free. I was free of it. I never had to take drugs again. I got rid of my allergies. I even got rid of being allergic to cats. And then I started believing in it. I'm like, maybe I can, with this, because I forgot my pills and I was in Florida and I was stuck and it's gone, maybe I can, and just with that belief, it started increasing the light, my belief, right? Because what you believe creates your reality. That was one thing that I found was interesting. Then I got high blood pressure. I did the same thing. I meditated a lot, changed my diet, lowered my salt intake, just little things like that. I'm giving an example so that we can acknowledge that we are human, powerful beings, and we were given a body with everything working fine in it, and we can always reattune it. We can always hit the system reset button on our body, right? And cut back on this, taking a little bit more sun, whatever you need to do in order to put a little more elbow grease in something that is like working fine, and then all of a sudden you find it not working, and we're aging, so we need to take care of ourselves on a cellular level, because we do have mechanisms inside ourselves that, to summarize it, that overall you can heal yourself. So I'm going on a little bit of a tangent just to kind of introduce a little bit of my story and how come I believe this so hardcore, because I come from it. I come from it. I come from a family that I also knew we had a very, very, very sick person, my mother, and then she finally succumbed and fell, and I helped her transition to the afterlife, right? That, well, I'm using terms so that we can understand as human beings. There is no afterlife. We just continue to live. Like we continue. But our bodies are just like vehicles. We have to take care of them. So the process of understanding your light and love and increasing your development in coming into a well-beingness and awareness of your own to serve yourself. This way, this ascension process is easier for your neighbor, for your children, for your parents, for your brother, for your sister. And understand that we come from something bigger. We come from the cosmos, okay? We come from something that is before you even enter your mother's womb. Okay. What else can we discuss? I'm here to tap into your remembrance. Remember the idea of a spirit. The idea of that spirit is you come from something bigger. Just like we have a society here, we have a society galactically. And when you think it's a thought, it's actually an angel whispering in your ear. Because you're like, oh, I just thought that. But was that thought like tangible? Can you touch it? Was it a hard copy thought? No, it's like up there, right? That's the process. That's the process. Start to tap into that. That's the divine. That is the divine. We've been exploited for years, abused, neglected, pushed down, suppressed, and then a lot of us just like, now we're activated. I'm activated to make these messages and for this to come through. And I'm glad that I can. It's complex, but it's so beautiful to understand the beauty behind this. There's a lot of beauty behind, in the end, okay? Right now, you can't even touch the fear, but you can see it in stores. But don't tap into it. Tap into your love. Tap into your light. It's never been more important for me to teach this, right? Just for 5 minutes, even if you're not spiritual, for 5 minutes, tap into, okay, how can I serve myself right now? If you need to go through, eating a couple donuts and getting drunk, because we're all human, right? And it's like, okay, but then after that, like, what can you really do? And then once you up your vibration, things become very clear that you come from something bigger. You come from a cloud, multidimensional being in the sky, beings in the sky that maintain your frequency. No matter how crazy things can seem, it's important to understand this connection and to reconnect with this connection and to spread this positivity and to spread this connection and to grasp it and to meditate on it and to just become imaginary in your own heads. Like, okay, let me use my imagination. I'm a higher dimensional being. I'm dealing with something negative right now. It doesn't feel good. It feels yucky. Let's look at it. Shine the light on it, right? You're only human. Even though you come from a higher aspect, all the rules apply here in physicality. That's how it is. That's how it works. And to come full circle, these are divine times. And I know, and I apologize if I trigger anybody or if I come off as like, I'm so powerful. I went into the toilet paper craze this morning and I was like, oh my God, do I need anything else? Like, I'm becoming like personified into this whole like massive hysteria that everyone is like injecting into, but it's not that way. Please believe me that it's just not. I mean, if it was that simple, just please believe me. I'm calling to service, I'm calling to action. There's massive energy. I can compute it, and I'm going to continue to put out these messages because I want it to be absorbed that we are powerful beings. We act out, we're humans, but remember you're connected to something bigger. And not to go into conspiracy, dark Illuminati beings. That's not what I'm here to inject into people. There's many realities going off once, but what is your origin? Your origin is love, light, the dynamic force within you, the spontaneous. Oh my God, I just got over the cold without taking it. Has anybody gotten over a cold without taking anything? I know I have. I sanitize my floors. I have a baby, sanitize the floors today. And I bought roses. And I'm looking at the roses. And I'm anchoring in. I'm anchoring in that I don't care what people think of me. Because I've never been closer to my power, my positive ability to access that power, illuminate the light in the cells in the blood in your body, and understand that these are other forces called the government trying to infiltrate your beautiful light being that you are. What else? It's been coming to a culminating point. Yeah, just stop and smell the flowers. I mean, we didn't come here to be in panic. We've already been through enough in our individual lives, right? Everybody's school, high school, heartbreak, devastate. I mean, we've all gone through depression. We know what anxiety feels like. We don't need that right now. We just need to become still, quiet. I'm about to make some popcorn, and I know that the aspect of me that might go into and plummet into fear might happen. But I quickly reset, and I'm back in the now moment, and learn to pay attention to your thoughts that are coming in, whether they're negative or positive. Pay attention to them. On a global level, we are being asked to pay attention to our inner beings, our emotional bodies. I hope this helps. Let us remain through this cycle. I'm getting that it's going to be kind of potent for the next 20 days. A shift is happening. Thank God. People are going to be more cautious. We're going into like a greater galactic dimension in the cosmos, with certain type of energies being eradicated, being uprooted within individual people. And that darkness, that like greed and all that stuff, it's like going to be uplifted. So it's amazing. We're going to be more sovereign. People are going to be aware of their nature, their power. What else do I have to say about? Okay, and as far as that darkness, those are traumas that need to be integrated. I'm a moon child, so I pray to the moon, and I like to have my crystals, and I have a certain power with the moon that I feel like my higher aspect is always like uplifted, and it's at its most potent, where I don't really feel like I need protection or anything like that, because I'm already in that stream. But whatever it is right for you, please do it. I embrace you with love if your fear vibes are high right now, but it'll pass. This too shall pass. And that's all it is. Because, I've never seen the world at a standstill like this. And it's, for me, I'm excited, but I don't want to come off like I'm like mocking, because I'm a human too. Like, I'm gonna say again, I'm a mother, I have a baby, like I should worry, right? But there's no, I'm so grounded, there's no worry. And I just want to I'm trying to become better at the intel that comes in and it's spilling out in English, because it's not in English. And I've been like this my whole life. It's not in a language. The Pleiadians, that's my star system. Now you know, the secret's out. No more secrecy. I am Spirit Love Star. If you feel like you want to follow my work, I will be continuing. This is raw rugged because I am able to jump on right now, but I do have a babysitter, and when things kind of settle, I'll be able to be a little bit more professional. But you know what? Nothing like being organic and real and raw. This is it. This is it. We're in human form, and we need to help each other. Thank you, my light workers. Thank you, the way showers. Thank you to my galactic family. Thank you for all the spiritual teachings and teachers that are out there raising awareness. We are coming out such a more awakened and alive species. The darkness is being sorted through. Unresolved issues are getting resolved. If you don't know how to do it, just be easy on yourself. Take moment by moment. Make yourself something like a cozy soup. Have some tea. Make some love. But understand the love has always been within you. It's always been within you. Activate it. We have light codes that are being activated right now. And it's confusion. Be easy with yourself during this confusion. Begin to take notice of the innate solutions that you have already. You do. We're light beings. We are. Meditate. Meditate. Love and light. And this is not, this isn't the 1600s where, yellow fever. No, we wouldn't be given this if we couldn't deal with it. We're the most woke to deal with this. So think of it as an element that your areas of unimportance are now being important. Now they're important. Now they matter, right? You want to erase unworthiness. You want to erase powerlessness and get back into your power, because we've never been more ready for it than we are now. We are so ready for this, and we've put out a calling that we're ready to shift. And this is what it looks like via a virus, right? I was cleaning the floors and I had a scab and I nicked myself and I was like, oh my God, I have an open scab. Can you believe that? Like, put a Band-Aid on it, easy, done. Continue, 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 connect, love, breathe. If you do that 3 times, it's been proven. It calms you down. So I just wanted to connect. And very interesting happens once you connect to this. Stay away from social media for a little bit. Stay away from the news. I'm actually going to take a break from social media. I am going to upload this though. But thank you for joining. That's my message, and you'll see more of me. If you support, that's great. I know that this is new terrain, but we have to be easy with ourselves because it's going to be gradual. But start to open up those portals because they're being blasted open. You have no choice. Everyone's along for the ride. Ascension 2020. Here we go. Love and light to all. Peace, and I'll see you soon.